Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs for 21st July 2023. So before getting started, let us try to see brief introduction. So one thing I want to make a clarity that here monsoon session has been started. So whenever the sessions are going on, the most of the articles will be political articles. So there you have to focus on especially the bills which have been passed. Okay. So whenever session has been started, so actually every year we will be having 3 sessions like budget session, monsoon session, winter session that you already know. So whenever session is going on, you have to see like important terminology in that session like zero hour, what is a question hour, and you have to see the different motions that will comes in the news. So whenever you are seeing that keywords, try to open your Lakshmikant and try to know the facts regarding that keywords. So this will be very useful and you can connect whatever static syllabus is there in Lakshmikant with whatever which is going on, okay, so that it will be helpful for remembering of the concept for a long term. So this is one tip from my side. So the first topic it is about in impasse in wrestler's case, the lawyer is the rule of law. So what is this article it is about? In January especially, so it was very much a hot topic, like wrestlers they are facing sexual harassment. So here you have to understand why sports women they are facing this sexual harassment. So what are the issues faced by this women who are in the sports, and here you have to know what is this issue all about. And this topic is important from polity and governance which comes in a GS paper too, and even we can connect this topic with our Indian society because women they are part of our society, right? So without women we can't expect the future also. So here we have to understand what is the issue which is faced by the women. So why we have to think about this issues regarding the women they are facing? Because nowadays we are talking about gender equality and even we are talking about sustainable development goals, and here government is encouraging women participation and their contribution towards economy. And you all know that in our GDP what is a care work which is done by women is not accounted. So whenever women they are coming forward in the different fields, yes, they will contribute to economy. So why women's contribution in economy is important? As you know that, so if you see the total population, so total population which consists of both male and female, but as of now only a very little percentage of women they are contributing to economy, but not all. So if there is a gender equality and if government is supporting women and their contribution can be added to the economy, so that we can move forward in the economy if you are comparing with the world, right? Because India is the most populous country in the world. It is according to United Nations Population Prospects Report, right? And let me know your opinion regarding empowerment of women, whether it is necessary or not. So don't comment in the male stereotype, okay? And next topic it is about India's data protection law needs refinement. Yes, we came up with this draft digital data personal bill. So it is going to be tabled in monsoon session. Already we know what are the key provisions, everything. But why we are going to discuss this article and how it is different. So what are the issues that are given in this article? So it is talking about important issues. So it is talking about 2 important issues, right? So already we discussed about the issue. And one more thing I want to make it clear is, so whenever you are reading any editorial, sometimes editorials give you the history of that so-and-so issue. Sometimes they will be giving the present context, what is happening. Sometimes they will be talking about the benefits. Sometimes they will be talking about the challenges, issues. Sometimes they will be talking about the way forward. So if you see if there is any topic which is important, anything which is happening, so you will be getting editorials daily, like for 4 to 5 days or for 1 week. So one editorial which will be talking about the another thing, right? So here we have to segregate the data together. So it is your work. So how can you segregate the data? So this is a one question. So you can take one A4 size loose sheets and try to write the title. So if after reading that editorial you will be getting at least 4 to 5 points which are important, right? So make a note of that. and if the same topic repeated in the next editorial, and there you have to pick up some points which is important and you have to add it there. So in this way you can make a comprehensive notes from this editorials, and editorials are very important for your UPSC, especially from your mains point of view. And one more tip I can give you is, in editorial, so first 2 paragraphs helpful for knowing the context, and even that part is important from your prelims. And last, whatever the conclusion is there or whatever the way forward is there, that is useful for your mains, especially to write your conclusion. So most of the students, they might not be knowing about this, so focus on this. So here this topic is talking about draft digital data protection bill, and we are going to see 2 important issues which are highlighted along with the solution. And next topic is no quick fix, and this topic is important from your economy point of view. So why? We are going to talk about funding. Regarding what? So here national education policy which came up with one important thing. So regarding the establishment of that, yes, we need funds. If you want to come up with any organization, yes, we need to have the workers. You have to work. Okay, that is officers, for example, and we need to have an organization set up, infrastructure, and for the running also we need to have the funds. So without funds we can't do anything. Will you accept with you or not? So even if you want to set up a small shop, yes, you need to have a funds. So without funds you can't do anything in this 21st century, right? So the first and the foremost thing here is funds. So from where we can get the funds? So government can fund, and even from the private people, they can give donations, and they can give the funds under corporate social responsibility, right? So here for the running of that organization, so government want to raise funds from the private sector. Okay, so why? We can compare with the other countries how private sector is contributing for the research and development, and what is the contribution in India, so why we are lagging behind. So all these things that you have to know. And next topic, it is about the delimitation question settled. So here we are focusing on one important keyword, that is what is this delimitation? What is a delimitation commission? So who are the members of this delimitation commission, and how and what is the process of this delimitation? So this will be very important from your polity point of view, because I think many of you had voting right? So if you have crossed 18 years of age, we have voting right. So I want to ask you one question, one interesting question, that is, which amendment led to decreasing of voting age to 18 years? So let me know in the comment box. And next one is, Supreme Court urges center to transfer cheetahs to another location. I think most of you might be knowing about this reintroduction of cheetah. So from where we got cheetah? From Africa. From Africa continent we got how many? 20 cheetahs. But the issue here is, there is a death of cheetahs. There's just last 1 week, the 2 cheetahs, they lost their life. So this project, it is a very interesting project, and even we want to increase the population of cheetah in India, because earlier cheetah used to be present in India, but they had became extinct. So because of this, we want to revitalize this mammal in our country, and we came up with this project called as relocation of cheetah, and we got 20 cheetahs, and these cheetahs has kept in which national park and which state? Please let me know in the comment box. So now here, because of the death of this cheetah, what happened? So this ambitious project may not achieve the goal. So because of the Supreme Court now asked the central government to transfer these cheetahs from that location to another location. So here we have to see this topic, and already we discussed about reintroduction of cheetah number of times, and we also discussed about what are the reasons behind the death, that is regarding infections because of maggots, and because of some injuries that are seen on the body of these cheetahs that led to the infections. So this infection is one of the important and key reason for the death of this cheetahs, and this topic is important from your environment and ecology. And next topic is center mandated health spending has positive impact. So this topic I found in the last back page in the science. So as you all know that health education is a very important sector for the development of any country. So in health sector, funding is less in India when we are comparing with that of other countries. So here one study which found that so whenever there is a funding in the health, that leads to the positive impact in the society. For example, there will be decreasing the MMR, decreasing the IMR. So what is MMR? Maternal mortality rate. What is IMR? That is infant mortality rate. And even whenever there is increasing of government spending in health, that will lead to decreasing of the burden on the people, and we can achieve the sustainable development goal. And whenever there is a proper health is ensured in any country, then the people, they will be having the health, good health, so that they can contribute more to our economy. So there will be a lot of benefits if you're focusing on health itself, right? So this topic is important from health, which comes in the GS paper 2. So these are the topics now we are going to discuss. I want to make this lecture interesting, so I will be asking you the questions in middle so that you can think about that, and you can come back and you can comment the answers, and you can continue watching the video, and watch the video till the end so that you will be getting a lot of insights regarding how to read current affairs and how to connect the current affairs with our static syllabus. So whatever you are reading in the static books or the standard books, how we can relate with that. So that thing I will promise you to understand, and I will promise you to know or to teach you how to link the static syllabus with the current affairs. So if you are watching this Rathod Science Academy for the first time, try to subscribe to this Rathod Science Academy and hit the bell icon so that you will get the notifications whenever we are posting the video. Sometimes the video will be posted between 10 to like 1 or 2 because of hefty schedule that I have, and recently I had twins. So because of these twins, I will be having hefty nights, sleepless nights, so that sometimes the video will become late. Okay, so don't worry. So even though if it became late, I will try to post that day current affairs on that day itself. So the first topic, it is about wrestlers issue regarding sexual harassment. So in impasse, in wrestler's case, the loser is the rule of law. So this article which is mainly talking about, so what are the issues which are faced by women and how it leads to the loss of rule of law. So this article is at most important because there is increased sexual harassment, and regarding the sexual harassment, we have Vishaka guidelines. So Vishaka guidelines. So in this Vishaka guidelines, Supreme Court said that if any organization which is having working people who are more than 10, they have to go for setting up of a committee, and this committee need to look after the sexual harassment at the workplace issues. So whenever you're talking about sexual harassment at the workplace, you have to remember this Vishaka guidelines, and examiner will be expecting you that whether you wrote this Vishaka guidelines or not. Okay, so they will be searching for this keyword, that is Vishaka guidelines. So now let us try to see this topic. So recently many of you knowing about this allegations of sexual harassment against Wrestling Foundation of India president. The name of that president is Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. So actually this incident happened in January, but why now it is in news? So this is a thing that you have to think about. So actually this person, he is released on bail. So because of this, again editorial, it is talking about this sexual harassment against WFI, Wrestling Federation of India chief. So what is the scenario? So what is scenario regarding such allegations of sexual harassment? So according to Right to Information Act data, so sexual harassment cases in India which has been increasing day by day. So from 2010 to 2020, there were about 45 complaints of sexual harassments to Sports Authority of India. So I'm not talking about in all the fields here. So especially if you're focusing on this sports, in sports itself, there are about 45 complaints in this last 10 years. And 29 were against coaches itself. So coaches are the people who will be giving the training, right? So against this coaches itself, 29 out of 45 cases they are registered. So now you can understand. So women, they are facing a lot of sexual harassment from their coaches itself. And in several of these reported cases, accused were let off leniently, and they are not getting the proper punishments, and even they are not getting the proper transfer or proper compensation they are not getting victims. So this is the one cause of concern here. And some of the cases, they have not seen the end of the tunnel, with many dragging on for years. So if they are filing the cases in the court, as you know, that judiciary which is facing some issues like increasing of pendency of cases, so increasing of time, right? So justice denied, justice which is late, okay? So whenever there is a late justice or delaying of providing justice is equal to the denying of justice, that you know that. So what happens sometimes whenever the cases are filed, so it will be taking some years, right? So because of this, they are not getting the proper justice. So victims are not getting the proper justice. So this is scenario of allegations, the sexual harassment allegations in sports sector in India. So now we have to understand especially what are the issues which are faced by the sportswomen. So there are many movies, right, regarding the rise of women, okay, in the sports. So in Telugu especially, we are having a lot of movies. I don't know whether it is present in other languages like Bengali, Marathi, and in Hindi also there are many movies out there. So most of the movies are dubbed movies, right? So if you have watched those movies, I am quite interested in watching movies. So I don't know whether you are interested or not, and I will learn a lot of things by watching the movies itself. So if you have watched that movies, like, so what are the challenges you have faced, then you can write a very good answer, because rather than reading and mugging up, so if you watch them, then you will be having a long standing memory and you can understand the scenario well, and you can correlate with the thing which is going on in the current affairs. So the first one is funding and budget. So whenever we are talking about sports, especially regarding men, they will be getting proper funding, but in case of women, they face lack of equal funding when we are compared to that of men athletics. So because of this, women, they can't come forward even though they are having the talent, because lack of funds. And next one is beyond sexism. So women, they are made to face barrels of sexism on the daily basis. That means, so they have to face sexual harassment, right? And next one is gender disparity. So women efforts to advocate their social rights, they still do not receive the same level of respect when you are comparing with that of men. And even they do not have proper access, and as well as physical education will be becoming very costlier for this woman, especially if you're talking about in school. In school, physical education is not there, because nowadays schools, they are focusing on foundation course of IITs, foundation course for the medicals, for the NEET, JEE, etc. But there is no interest which is shown by even schools in the physical education. So earlier when we used to go to school, we do have daily one period for physical exercise. So our PT used to come and he used to make us to do some exercise, and at that time we will be also having some games. But now, especially our children generation, they will be focusing on learning the computer science from even 3rd class, 4th class, and many schools are providing the basic foundation for IIT, JEE and NEET, etc. from the very early age, from the very tender age, right? So there is no proper interest which is shown by the schools on physical education, and even there is a very limited opportunities to play sports in the both high schools. So I want to give you one example here. I don't know whether you can relate it or not, but I found it like, so whenever we used to go to school, so we used to have games. For example, if there is August 15th or January 26th or on the Children's Day, so we do have entire one day dedicated to the games, and we used to play the lot of games on that day. But now, especially whenever our children, they are going to school, so school management is asking to pay money. If they want to play chess, they have to pay 25 rupees or 30 rupees. So like that, if you want to pay how many games, and you have to pay that for that. So because of this, what happened, parents, they are also not interested to to allow their children to play the games. So because of this, nowadays what happened, there is very less access to this physical education in the schools as well. And if you see in the colleges, especially the girls, they are not at all moving towards or showing interest towards playing the games. And there is also lack of access to adequate playing facilities near their homes as well. And next one is, yes, whenever women, they are entering into the sports sector, so there is lack of safety, and as well as there is also they are also facing these transportation issues. So whenever we want to play the games, so games will be not conducted near our house or near the stadium which is present our house. So we have to move from one place to another place. And even if you want to play in Olympics or any international level games, you have to move from one country to another country here. So yes, this is also one important issue which faced by women. And next one is, there is also decreased quality training. So facilities are not as good as the boys, venues and playing times may not be optimal. So the availability of quality trained coaches, they may be lacking in their community as well. So how communities are focusing on the boys will be encouraged by community to play the games, but it is not the same that is seen with the women. And next one is, even there is a very little media coverage. So women's sports are often underrepresented in media, which can make it harder for the female athletes to gain recognition and as well as sponsorship. So to get the sponsorship also, it is very difficult for the women compared to that of men. So this is about in detail regarding this topic. And if you want to add any more points and if you want to give your opinion, so please let me know your opinion in the comment box. So try to give me your opinion so that we will be reviewing opinion, and if you are wrong, so we will be corrected, so that we will be having a two-way interaction in the comment section. Okay. And next topic, it is about India's data protection law need refinement. So the basic facts regarding this topic we discussed in our earlier videos. Right, so you are going to see what are the issues which are highlighted here. So we're talking about data protection bill. So one committee that you have to get into your mind is B.S. Sri Krishna committee. So this Sri Krishna committee recommended for the data protection law. Okay, so this Sri Krishna committee recommended for data protection. So data protection law in India has been proposed or recommended by Sri Krishna committee, B&C Krishna committee. So you have to remember that name for sure. And here examiner will be expecting this committee name in the answer. So actually here, if you are comparing with this data protection bill in India and other countries, so we do not have this data protection law in India till now. Till now we do not have this. But if you see the other countries like European countries, yes, they have. So especially in Europe, they have GDPR, that is General Data Protection Regulation. So European Union have this data protection law. So the data protection law in European Union is General Data Protection Regulation. So which has came into force in 2018. Okay, so after European Union came up with this law, so this law had become very much popular and had become widespread, right? So it is regarding the privacy of the data. It is dealing with the privacy of data. So now here we came up with the fourth time. So fourth time we came up with this data protection bill in India. So till now this has not yet been passed, and we have to wait and see whether this is going to be passed in this monsoon session or not. So it is a big dilemma. Okay, so here if you see, here government came up with the fresh data protection law, and it is going to be presented in the monsoon session which is going on now. So last year, here government released Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2022 for the public consultation, and last year it is the third attempt, and now in this year it is a fourth attempt. And the draft released for the public comments, it was not comprehensive. So this is one issue. So now here in this new draft data protection bill, which is focusing only on personal data. So it is talking about only personal data. So that is any data that has a potential to directly or indirectly identify the individual. So what is this personal data it is about? For example, name, for example, gender, for example, age, for example, address, for example, what is the occupation you are doing. So this all will consider personal data. So by using this data, you can directly or indirectly identify an individual. So here this is the one important cause of concern. It is only talking about personal data. For example, personal and as well as non-personal data is there. So if you're talking about data, so you will be having two types of data, that is personal data and which is non-personal data. So this new bill which is talking about only personal data, but it is not talking about non-personal data. So it is one important issue. So why it is an issue? Because even though if you are using this non-personal data, so we can go for re-identification of that so and so person. That means, so if you are booking Uber rides, for example, if you are using Ola autos, or for example if you are using Rapido bikes, etc., so you will be giving some data like which destination you want to go, right? So you will be giving the present location, you will be giving the destination location, and you will be doing the payment, right? So what happened, for example, whatever the data that is present with this Uber rides in Delhi, that can be used to identify the prayer timings, and we can identify the members who are belonging to which community. So in this way here, non-personal data can also be used for re-identification of the person. So this is one important issue here. So earlier we had one important thing, that is financial penalties on data processing and entities, but now this fresh draft, it is not talking about the use of non-personal data. So what is the solution? So what can be done here? So we can go for giving financial penalties on data processing entities. So if there is any re-identification by using this non-personal data is happening, so that so and so entity should be punished. And next important issue here is data protection board. So we have data protection board which is proposed under this bill, and this data protection board which is incapable. So why it is incapable? So this board can initiate the proceedings only which are given by the government, or whenever the court is directing the proceedings, so in that proceedings only it can participate, but it do not have the suo moto power to go for proceedings, to initiate proceedings by its own. So these are the two important issues which are given here. And next topic, it is about no quick fix. It is mainly talking about NRF, that is National Research Foundation. So we need to establish this organization called as National Research Foundation. So this article which is mainly talking about private sector funding. It is talking about private sector funding. So please let me know your opinion regarding whether this private sector funding will be helpful for achieving the goals of this national education policy or not. So what is your I'm asking about your personal opinion. Okay, don't copy from the others. So just genuinely give your opinion. So if we're talking about this National Research Foundation Bill 2023, among the most important pieces of legislation. So actually, so this is proposed in National Education Policy of 2020, and finally our respective parliament came up with this National Research Foundation Bill 2023, and this is going to table in the parliament in this monsoon session, and we have to wait and watch what will happen. Okay. And if you see this draft which is not in the public domain, actually it envisages a new central body to fund research. So it is talking about research. So especially it is talking about how to fund for the research in India, and the budget of this NRF is about 50,000 crores that should be spent in the next 5 years. So from where we can get this 50,000 crores? So this is a one important and big question. So here NRF which draws the models on United States National Science Foundation. So this United States National Science Foundation which will be spending $8 billion budget. and it will be the majorly the source for the funding for the colleges and as well as university research. So I want to say one important thing regarding education of USA. I think you might be knowing or might not be knowing this. So if you don't know, so you can understand this. So we're talking about education in USA till 10th class, 11th and 12th. So till 12th, so government will be providing the free education. So after this 12th, so for the graduation, so they have to spend their money. Okay, so till inter there is no need of spending money by the parents on their education. So even if you see the schools, they will be like universities, and they will be having extraordinary infrastructure. Even they will be having the bus facilities, even they will be providing the tablets, okay, for the studying. So the education system in US is very good. So on the same lines of United States National Research Foundation, so we are going to have this National Research Foundation in India. So let me know your opinion. So whether if we are coming up with even this National Research Foundation, so we will be having that standards of USA or not. So let me know your genuine opinion. So for many years, India's spending on research has lagged. So whatever the government of India spending on research and development in India, it is just 0.6 to 0.8% of GDP. So if there is a increasing of spending, then we cannot depend upon, there is no need of depend upon other countries for the technology transfer, right? So this is my opinion. I am saying frankly that, so if there is increasing of government spending in research and development, there is no need of depending on the other countries. So here even Indians who are moving towards USA or other countries here, so these people will be not showing interest to move towards other countries also, because if they are getting good funds from the research and development point of view. So please let me know your opinion regarding this. So this is my opinion. So I don't know whether you will accept with me or not. So if you are not accept with me, so you can let me know your opinion, so that I can learn and even other can learn. Okay, so I can also learn the different perspectives. So in countries such as US, China, Israel, so here their contribution in this research and development is very high. It is about 70% of research expenditure that we are doing, and this is only about 36% of India's total research expenditure. So here 70% of research expenditure that will be coming from private sector, but in India just 36% of research and development expenditure which is coming from private sector. That means almost double. So this comes under case study. And you have to remember this data. And if you see the central reasons, the way to galvanize university research in India, so it would be attracting more private money. So whenever we are coming up with this type of organization, so it will be attracting the more money from the private people. And if you're talking about the greater contribution when we are getting from this private sector, so research will become sustained in our country, and even universities and research institutions, they will be supporting the government as well, and even they will encourage the individuals to build companies and institutions, and that will increase the value in investing this research and development in future. So in this way here, author says that NRF, National Research Foundation, that should work to create conditions and that should work to incentivize the development of private sector organizations in the invention and as well as developing of technology. And next topic, it is about delimitation. So we are going to focus on only delimitation. So this is important from your static syllabus point of view. And even in your Lakshmikant also you will be having this information regarding the delimitation, but it is very little. So now let us try to see the information in detail. So here delimitation is nothing but we are going for redrawing the Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assembly constituencies. So on which basis? On basis of census. So why census? So if there is any one area, okay, any one constituency, so we have to ensure that the number of people who are voting is equal to the number of people who are voting in this constituency. So there should be the equal number of people who are having the voting rights. So this is based on census. So census will be done once in every 10 years. So last delimitation took place in year 1976, and the current boundaries they were drawn, which is based on 2001 census. Already we have 2011 census, and this 2021 census has been delayed. So already whatever the current boundaries are there, they are based on 2001 census. And the number of Lok Sabha and state assembly seats, they remain frozen, and it is based on 1971 census. So it is one cause of concern now. So why we need this delimitation? So what is necessary? So if we're talking about the need, we have to ensure that all population segments, they are equally represented, and one constituency should have the equal number of people who are having voting with the another constituency. And we need to focus on even fair division of geographic areas, and we have to adhere one vote one value principle. So this need is very important from your means point of view, and you have to understand, yes, why we are going for this delimitation. And if you're talking about delimitation commission, so what is the composition? So here our honorable president, he or she will be appointing this delimitation commission, and members will be retired Supreme Court judge, and we have CEC, that is Chief Election Commissioner, and we will be having state election commissioners. So we are having one Chief Election Commissioner and two we will be having the state election commissioners as well. So we're talking about what is the process of this delimitation. So after each census, that is, this census will be done every 10 years. So we will be understanding the population. So we will be getting population details through this census. And after the census, our parliament enacts Delimitation Act. So in our constitution, which article talks about this delimitation? That is Article 82 of our Indian Constitution, and Article 170 of Indian Constitution says that after each census, so here we need to come up with the territorial constituencies. So we need to go for delimitation of territorial constituencies according to this Delimitation Act. And Union government creates this Delimitation Commission once this act came into effect. And in 1950 to 51, President conducted first delimitation exercise with the help of Election Commission. And later on in 1952, Delimitation Act was passed in our country. And after once this act has been passed in 1952, in 1962, in 1972, in 2002, so we had this delimitation commissions which came up for the 4 times. And finally here in 1981 and in 1991, so there is no delimitation, okay, based on this census of 1981 and 1991. And next topic, it is about Kerch Bridge attack. So as you all know that Russia said that we are going to ban this Black Sea Grain initiative, right? So why? Because of this Kerch Bridge attack. So Russia says that, already you know that Russia-Ukraine conflict is going on. It has started on February 24th, 2022, and it had been crossed 1.5 years now. So here what happened? Russia says that Ukraine attacked this Kerch Bridge. In retaliation, Russia it is going to attack this port Odessa. Okay, so now let us try to see this topic in detail. So the Kerch Bridge, so actually where this bridge is located, so this geographical location, the map is also very important. So it is connecting Russian mainland with Crimean Peninsula. Actually this Crimean Peninsula, so what is the meaning of peninsula? So peninsula means nothing but land which is surrounded by the water on 3 sides, and one side it is having land, on 3 sides it is having water. So this land, this piece of land is called as peninsula. And India is also a peninsula, right? So we are having Arabian Sea, so we are having Bay of Bengal, and here we have Indian Ocean. So water it is covered on 3 sides, and here we have land. So India is also called as a peninsula. So this Crimean Peninsula which had been occupied by Russia in year 2014, right? So this peninsula which is present in Black Sea. And what happened? So one section, the bridge which is connecting this Russian mainland and Crimean Peninsula, so one side it has been attacked by 2 Ukrainian sea drones. So in retaliation, Russia also carried out a massive air strike, and it attacked the south Ukrainian port city called as Odessa. So here Russia also announced hours after attack that it was withdrawing United Nations brokered deal, and this deal it is about Black Sea Grain Initiative, so which will be helpful for transport of grains. So if you're talking about the details, so this Kerch bridge it is about 19 kilometers long and it is having rail and as well as roadways. So actually this Kerch bridge which opened in 2018 and 4 years after Russia which annexed Crimea in 2014. 2014 Russia annexed this Crimea and Russia occupied this Crimea, and after that in 2018 they came up with this bridge. And after the attack here rail service restored but not the road service. Road service still had been shut down in this Crimean Strait. Okay, so in this Kerch Strait. So if you're talking about what is the importance of this bridge, so this bridge is important for Russia for symbolic and as well as administrative and operational reasons. So whenever we are having the link, we can go for easy transportation, so that it will be having economic significance, and even it will be helpful for administrative purpose, so the easy movement of troops, everything. So here when Russia swiftly moved to annex Crimea in 2014, so after pro-Russian elected government amid West-backed anti-regime protests, there was no direct connectivity between Russian mainland and Crimea. So because of this, after annexing of Crimea, they came up with the building of this bridge. So when Russia swiftly moved to annex Crimea in 2014, so there is no connectivity between Russian mainland and Crimea, and finally they came up with this building of this bridge. So one of the key goals of Ukrainian counteroffensive was to destroy this bridge. So whenever here this bridge had been destroyed, means what happened, the connectivity between this Russian mainland and this Crimea will be cut, right? So because of this, it want to disrupt the Russian supplies to southern part of Ukraine. So now let us try to see here where is that Kerch bridge is located. So here we have Ukraine, right? And this part is Crimea. So Crimea which is present in the southern part of Ukraine. So whenever there is increasing of troops in this Crimea, so it is also pose a threat for this Ukraine. So because of this, Ukraine want to make this destroying of this bridge, so that they can cut connection with this mainland Russia and as well as Crimea. So exactly here the explosion had been done, and this is the Kerch bridge. And next topic it is about relocation of these cheetahs. The Supreme Court now asked the central government to go for relocation of these cheetahs. So now let us try to see this topic. Supreme Court told Union government that the death of 40% of 20 cheetahs brought from Africa and Namibia to this Kuno National Park. So we got 8 cheetahs from Namibia and 12 cheetahs from South Africa. Overall, we got 20 cheetahs from this Africa continent, and we relocated them to Kuno National Park, which is located in Madhya Pradesh. So the answer for this question I gave now. Okay, so don't search about this topic. And if you see the details, it says that here Supreme Court said that so these cats are not having the suitable environment, and this is the prestige issue for the government. So because of this, we have to go for relocation. And out of this 20 cheetahs, 8 cheetahs had been died. So this is one cause of concern. And here the one more thing here is the Cheetah project is one of the prestigious project, and authorities they are exploring the various options for the well-being of the animals. And what is the reason behind the death? It is the infections. So next topic it is about center mandated health spending, which has a positive impact on the study. Which is a positive impact, which says a study, and this topic is at most important. And if you see the context, it says that National Health Mission. So whenever we are coming up with any mission or any program, so whenever we are spending at least some amount, means we have to think that how it will be helpful for the greater public interest. So what are the measures taken by this National Health Mission, which has given a positive flip up to the health sector across the country? So this is the thing which mainly said by one study, and this study published. And actually this study is done in 4 states, that is Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Haryana and Bihar. That means we are having southern states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, as well as northern states like Haryana and Bihar. and they found that states, they had slowly increased their allocation in the health budgets, and the target of about 8% of total state budget they need to be achieved. Okay, and the target was envisaged in the National Health Policy of 2017. And 2018-19 states, they spent an estimated 5.2% of the total budget on the health. And this National Health Mission conditional allocation, which has helped is seen from the steady fall of country's infant mortality rate. So whenever there is increasing of spending, yes, we are going to see the positive impact. So one of that positive impact is decreasing of infant mortality rate. And also here there is disparity in per capita public spending also across the state had been reduced, and we are going for facing one issue, that is underspending of allocated resources also. And actually here what is the need here is state need to come up with some concrete plans, and they have to build their primary healthcare delivery system, and we have to achieve one of the key objectives of universal health coverage under this National Health Mission. So this is about this topic. And I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod Science, we came up with this daily mains answer writing course for the students who are preparing for 2024 and as well as 2025. And this course is for 1 year, and if you want to opt for 6 months, we will be also providing that. And here in this course, the lectures and the questions which will be given only in English medium, and the mode of classes here will be online mode itself, and even it will be helpful for the working professionals. They can join the classes that will be conducted on every Sunday. And in this course, we are covering GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, even with essay and as well as case study. And first of all, we will be giving you the detailed schedule of this course, and based on that detailed schedule, we are going to give you daily one mains question, and you need to write answer for that, and you have to send your answer to our mail ID so that there will be detailed evaluation. And here we will be providing you the model answer also for that so-and-so question, and there will be live doubt clearing sessions on every Sunday, and live interactive classes will be there. And the cost of this course is 8,200, and you can pay in single payment, or you can also have installment facility as well. So try to join this course, it will be very, very useful. Okay, and now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu newspaper PDF. Date is July 21st and today is Friday. So first topic is Supreme Court deeply disturbed, orders center Manipur government to act. So here this article which is talking about the issue in Manipur which is going on between Kukis and as well as Joes. So next topic, it is about central ordinance. So you have to focus on this word, what's ordinance, and let me know which are the articles talking about ordinance making power of president and governor. And next topic is because of heavy rainfall, landslip happened in Maharashtra's Raigad region, and you have to know what is this landslip or landslide and what are the reasons behind this, and already we discussed this topic. And if you move forward, so most of the articles in today's newspaper is political articles. Here you can see Rais Kachativu's Tamils issue during the Sri Lankan president issue. So this Kachativu, it is regarding fishermen issue. So you have to go through this. And you have to see the locations where exactly this Kachativu island is located. And next topic is Godavari water level continues to rise in Telangana. So till now river Yamuna has been raised, and now in the southern India, in this peninsular river, that is Godavari, had been increasing of level that is seen. So you have to see where is this river Godavari flows in which states, and you have to see which are the tributaries, like right bank tributaries, left bank tributaries, and even important dams located on this river. Okay, and in this editorial page, I discuss this topic, and this topic is not at all important. It is a political article. I discuss this India's data protection article also, and I discuss this topic regarding National Research Foundation, and I discuss this topic called as delimitation. And if you move forward in this text and context, I discuss this topic of Kretsch Bridge, and here you can see the bridge how it is, and here you can see this is the rail bridge and this is the road bridge. And here you can see exactly this is Crimea, this is Sea of Azov, this is Kerch Strait, this is Black Sea, and this strait which is connecting these two water bodies, it is Sea of Azov and Black Sea, and this is a bridge, and exactly here the explosion had been done. And if you move forward in this news page, there is nothing much important. And here you can see this article regarding the transfer of cheetahs I discussed. And here there is one important topic, that is Chandrayaan finishes 4th orbit raising maneuver. So this topic is also important. And there is one more article, that is Central bans export of non-basmati white rice to control price in India. So I discussed this topic. No, I didn't discuss, but you have to go through that topic. And if you move forward, here you can see US indicator points to recession starting soon. So here you have to understand what is the meaning of recession, and please let me know this meaning of recession in the comment box. And these are some important articles that appear in now today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. If you really like this video, hit the like button, and if there is any suggestion from your side, so please give me your suggestions also, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathod Science Academy and try to share this video with your friends also. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, and we are going to meet in the next session.